Recording.
Hi friends, Suzy Woo here. How have you been? Awesome to see you again. I wanted to come on today to do an abbreviated healing session. You know where where we are kind of in history right now. All of this Aries energy that we have, some of it is starting to break up, other things are moving into Aries, some stuff is moving out. Um, Pluto's about to go retrograde. This is gonna get really juicy, really juicy. We're not in the big like locomotive energy that we had for April. May is gonna be a little bit different. I definitely still see the word disturbing, and I think that has to do with additional layers of truth that are coming to the surface. I kind of feel like the image that I have is like a moving blanket, but it's trying to cover up the flames. But as you pick it up, it is actually fanning the flames. So that to me, that's indicating that it has to do with disclosure and truth and what is trying to be covered up is actually leaving like being charred. And so I kind of feel like passersby notice and turn around and take note. Um, that's the visual, like I'm super duper visual. And uh, energetic disturbances as well. This is another thing that we can expect, and that has to do with definitely more seismic activity. There's been plenty of that already. I feel it's going to become more concentrated now, and it's going to start to show up on fault lines that have not been activated for a long time, including Western New York. Now, as soon as I said that, I got Georgia. So something's going to be going up down in Georgia, and I'm seeing a sinkhole. Um, those southern states, where I'm at now is Alabama. Alabama is where I'm seeing the sinkhole. A disturbance in Georgia. It looks coastal there, the ocean coast. Um, just kind of like scanning the country, and now this is all East Coast activity. And then also it looks down, that would be the New Mexico, Arizona area. So there's down in the corner, something is going on there too, and travel industry is going to be impacted. Um, I'm also picking up something west of Chicago. Now that feels more like a rebellion. This feels more like a march. So a protest or a march or something like that. And I'm seeing west of Chicago, even north and northwest of the Chicago area. I'm seeing a lot of people, boots on the ground, the protest signs, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's happening. Um, Now, even though I'm scanning up here, I'm hearing this way, Florida. So let me take a look at. So it's not the Panhandle. It's down. This would be the southeast and mid and south, the lower half of the state and the eastern side. So there's a disturbance there as well. That's a seismic thing. So there's it feels like it's underneath, like in the water there. I'm not so sure about landfall there. Okay. So I didn't know that was going to happen. But like I scan people's bodies doing the same thing, and I just it's a little bit hard to explain, but uh, but it's very effective and it works. It's what works for me. Everybody has, their own way of receiving their intuitive information. And for me, just it's evolved over several years to what it is today. Alrighty. And so Thursday, Thursdays, I've been doing my level 2 healers course, and we are currently working on animal healing. I've decided to make it a one-off, separate, like its own thing. If that's something you're interested in, I invite you to join my newsletter on my website, suzy-woo.com, right on the homepage. And then also, we found the healing center, and so I'm trying to get in position to be able to buy it, and I need to raise some capital to put a good down payment on it so that I can actually pull it off. I do have a donation form on my website for helping to acquire the location, which is on my website too. And I also have a nonprofit arm. You Are the Miracle Center for the Spiritual Arts. And so if you look at youarethemiraclecenter.org, that is the nonprofit arm, and you're more than welcome to donate there. And that's actually for the programs that we're going to be doing, which has to do with retreats for everybody, retreats for all underserved populations, retreats for women, retreats for teens, retreats for couples, retreats for developmentally disabled, all kinds of phenomenal stuff. Okay, and so now, because we're still in the energy of this Scorpio full moon. It's a deep one, it's an intense one. I'm a Scorpio rising, so if you're a Scorpio, if you have Scorpio placements, it's definitely impacting you pretty deeply, and it's also impacting all of the fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. And to supplement that, Pluto and Aquarius is there, and it's about to go retrograde. And so this, again, it has to do with digging up deeper level truths, and considering the things that maybe you didn't consider before. Also, the skeletons in our closet, the parts of us that we don't like. Many of us are going to be going through dark night of the soul. And what is dark night of the soul anyway? It's when you kind of have such an awareness about something in your life that you unplug for a minute, you kind of go numb, and you question your very existence. Like, who am I? And what is life for? And what am I doing? And what am I supposed to be doing? And we just kind of go blank. Um, Now, that should not last years. That's dangerous. It's supposed to be a temporary thing that serves as a bridge to get you to go into seek mode. Once you're in seeking mode, creator's like, yeah! And then your spirit guides start intermingling in ways that you can perceive. And then things start happening that are very synchronistic. You may see numeric sequences, 11, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, things like this. In fact, the full moon yesterday in Scorpio was at 1, 2, 3. It was at 1:23 in the afternoon here in New York, where I am. I'm not on the New York City side of the state. I'm in the south, very south, the southwesternmost county of the state. That's where I am. And what else? Let me take a peek at the chart real quick, and we'll see what intuitively else shows up. All right, so we still have a shit ton of stuff in Aries. So what I enjoy is that the nodes are going to be changing signs this summer. Jupiter's going to be moving into Leo this summer. South Node is going to be in Leo. And what's great about that is it's going to be continued falling of kings and queens, falling of people in leadership, falling of celebrities, which is good because we shouldn't have anybody on a pedestal, especially not a movie star, right? Like, anyway, you are your own hero. You are your own celebrity. You should be the star of your own movie, and your movie is your life. And you get to choose who the characters are, too, right? We're not supposed to keep everybody for life. Sometimes we're just meant to walk with people for a certain period of time. Kind of like if you're on a bus. You pick people up and then you let them off at their stop. Sometimes we hang on to people longer than we should, and then it doesn't feel good. Everyone is not meant to walk with us forever or stay on our bus forever because it can get too crowded, right? And our energy can get too distorted too. We can get spread in too many different directions. But the energy of May, um, I like what it feels like. I'm excited about it. The whole Uranus and Gemini for the next 8 years, I'm thrilled about that. as a Leo, Scorpio rising, Taurus moon. That's fixed. All of us fixed signs, all of the fixed signs, which are those three plus Aquarius, finally can breathe a sigh of relief now because Uranus in Taurus was like locked in. It was like think of a Tesla ball, but stuck sandwiched in a rock. And it just wants to go and do stuff and make magic happen. I'm thinking of the Squidward dance, like right? Well, we can't do that when we're sandwiched inside of a rock. And so last Saturday, when Uranus finally came out of that rock, Taurus, and moved into Gemini, that's it's the higher octave of that nature. And so it's taking this smallness and saying, let's mature. Let's take the data and let's do something mature with it. And how could we implement AI with nowadays so that it doesn't overrule the world and our minds, and this whole new divulging of stuff? We're going to realize, we're going to come to know how much mind control we're actually under. Like there's frequencies being projected out from towers, from, you know, cameras, from all kinds of stuff. And it's intentional and it's not good for us. It's to our detriment, including what's being sprayed in the skies. Like it all has a detrimental impact on our nervous system, on our brain function, on our own pineal gland, our intuition organ, right? We need that stuff and it needs to be sharp. It needs to be tuned in so that we could understand who are we and what are we here to do. We are not supposed to be a slave race. This is going to be a very exciting, it is not going to be, we're in it. We are in this time of revealing our deeper truths. Like our history books are a lie. What is the truth? And you know what's interesting is the truth is subjective, isn't it? And so if I am living a super happy life and I'm loving what I'm doing, I have a neighbor. Let's say I'm in a condo. My neighbor on the other side of the condo, they're having a miserable life. They hate everything and everyone. Well, that is their truth and this is my truth. And they might want to punch me in the face because I'm too happy, right? And they might think that I'm full of crap. Like it's an act. Nobody could be happy all the time. But that's based on that person's truth. And so somebody like that who is angry, who is projecting, or who is closed-minded, who doesn't want to learn or ever hear anything other than their own dialogue, they're dying. Like it's like entropy sets in, and then you just close in on yourself, right? We're here to now be liberated, broken the spell, liberated from the control. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're good at stuff. Take what you're good at and find a way to get paid for it. Unplug from the machine. It's not as hard as you might think. Over these next 8 years, we are going to have the free energy that already exists. And so many people have already been taken out. Their houses burned to the ground. Their families pillaged. But now too many people know about it. They're not going to off everybody. We know free energy exists. Whether it comes directly from the sun, which never turns off, or if it comes from the planet itself. It is there. In fact, there's also magnetic energy. It's there. It's been invented. And now, too many of us know, and they're not going to off all of us. And so it's kind of like, we're pushing and it comes back, and we push and it comes back. Well, all of us, the more awakened people we have, the more push we have, and with you. And we get to celebrate this unified, elevated state of consciousness, one that actually brings back wisdom that's buried in our DNA. We've been here before. This is not our first rodeo. But now, here's the thing, it's kind of like you've got a doorway, a threshold, where we walked through it before, and there was somebody on the other side there with an axe ready to decapitate us. Well, what happened now, since the spell has been broken and we're able to connect with who we are in our own higher power, now that door is there again. And that is where we're getting these fears. I don't know if I can do this. I don't. But your job is to walk through that door and have faith. Faith. Because in the energy that we are in now, you're going to walk through that door and there's no one there on the other side with an axe. Instead, there's confetti and celebrations and amazing awesomeness, celebration of you, that you had the faith to still walk through that door. And you can do the things that you came here to do, where in another lifetime you were not able to. Now you can. So have the faith to walk through that door of what it is that you really want to do. Because that's why you're here. We are here to learn and grow. We're here to adapt every now and then. And we're here to shine our individual light. You're good at stuff. You don't need to be in a slave job making peanuts. And no matter how many hours you work, you can't make ends meet and you're ready to burn out. Okay, that's part of the undivine plan. Unplug from that. What is it that you are naturally good at? And what is it that you really enjoy? Well, you put it together and you bring it to the marketplace. Because where we're going is more of a sense of community. I do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. We all get together and we have everything we need. We don't need to be part of that corrupted system. It's a beautiful thing. It's definitely divine timing. This has been in the works for millennia. And there is no such thing as luck. Everything is alignment. So it's not that some people are luckier than others, it's that they are aligned. And if you want what somebody else has, put in the work. You can do it too. Okay? You are unique. You have your own way of doing things. People need to know that you exist. Shine your light. Do the thing. Please, do the thing. All right. And so now I'd like to take a breath. And I'm going to invite you to receive some beautiful healing energy. Today we're bringing in a beautiful Vogel quartz crystal. All right, so it does have to do with geometry and numbers and ratios and stuff. You can look it up, Vogel cut quartz. All right, this is, of course, everything I have here is loaded. I mean, this is where all the healing takes place. All right, and so for you to receive the most benefit, I want you to do a self-inventory. How are you feeling right now? How is your emotional state? How's your mental state? And how's your physical state? Are you where you want to be in life? Why not? You ready to be reborn? Are you ready to let your inner light shine for others to see? You have creative talent. You're very smart. There's nothing you can't do. But you need to know this. And it's not just believing. You got to move from belief to knowing. Blow away the walls, blow away the ceiling. There are no limits until you put limits there. If you say, I can't, da 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 da, well, you're concretizing that you can't, and then you won't. What is it that you really want to do? And let's start now, because you can. Know that you can. If you can imagine it, oh, you could do it. Okay. All right, so we know your state of being, because I just asked you to check it. And now I'm going to invite you to rest your eyes closed and to begin to breathe into your heart space. And I'd like you to imagine your heart space like a big, beautiful glitter ball of light. And let yourself know you're in a safe and sacred container in this now moment. There is nothing coming at you in this right now moment. You have to tell yourself the truth. In this right now moment, I am safe. Breathing in and out of your own heart space. Okay. Okay. First, we're going to remove some of the pressure from the top of your head, from around your head, from the temple area. And we're just kind of like peeling the banana skin. We're coming unraveled on the outside. So just allow me to facilitate this for you. And all you're doing is breathing in and out of your heart. You're not doing anything else. Just breathe. And I say that because sometimes people tend to hold their breath. Okay, now we're going to cleanse what I call the spiritual ears. Now, you do have microcrystals in the inner ear and in your pineal gland. And so I'm now going to summon up the energy, including this Vogel quartz. And we're going to begin to cleanse, charge, and recalibrate the microcrystals. Okay, now we're gonna cleanse the third eye chakra. I am safe. I am creative. Okay, I'm now going to light up the energy behind your eyes. And now we're going to cleanse the sinus cavities in the face because a lot of times negative energy tends to pool up in there. Remember, don't hold your breath. Be breathing. It looks like some of you guys have some hay fever, some allergies going on. Definitely feeling some inflammation in the sinuses here and some drippy stuff. There we go. Okay, now we're going to bring some ease into the whole skull and into the jawbone, especially for those who tend to clench their jaw or who grind their teeth when they're sleeping. Okay, good. All right, now we're going to, when I say we, it's actually my spirit guides. We're going to expand the energy of your heart space where you're breathing because you need a lot more room in there. You're way too claustrophobic in your heart. And for some of you, it's from repression or being suppressed or doing too much for too many. There we go. Okay, remember you're breathing in and out of your heart space. All right, now we're going to remove some weights and burdens from the upper back and the shoulders. And these weights and burdens are from your own multiple lifetimes here on earth, but also the lifetimes of your parents, their parents, and your ancestors. As we remove these weights and burdens and clear this entanglement, the void created is filled with a powerful yellow gold light energy. These are no longer your burdens to bear. And now I'm going to run energy into your shoulders and down both arms at the same time. And hopefully it goes all the way down to the tips of your fingers and thumbs. Good. Okay, I'm going to light up your hands now. And let's program this into ourselves. I am learning new ways to love myself every day. I acknowledge that I am a sacred divine being of love, and I have no right to talk down to divinity, which I am. I acknowledge and understand I am the light of the truth. Amazing, very good. Okay, now I'm going to send some healing frequencies or light codes into the chakra known as the God's Mouth. And this is going to be felt very differently from person to person. And this is uniquely individual, your truth, and lighting up what it is that you need to know. And remember, don't hold your breath. You are special, you are important. There's other stuff that goes with that. Receive, receive, receive. Okay, here comes a little light language that goes with it for those who understand it this way. All right, and then we're going to supplement that with some audible sounds. Hi, Kadisha, na umbo kinia akadiashana. Yani iya ki utu munashtika utu inakatia simaka. Ja, knia ustikini ithia tuena atu. Yaknia muyakanishtikana. Asiati nkun unya makana yishina kahi. Brakania umbo unkono ya nyashtikana. Breathe easy. All right, perfect. All right, now we're going to go to your solar plexus, which houses the identity. And it's very overcrowded in there. You've got too many people. It's like too many chefs in the kitchen. So we're going to reset this completely. In comes this beautiful lemon yellow laser beam, reigniting your solar plexus energy center. And this is the truth and the pureness that is you. Just notice how you feel. Now we're going to go to the sacral energy center, which is your own creative space, but it's also where we hold guilt and shame. And some of you have a leaky aura in the back of this area. The back has to do with the past. Okay, I'm being shown lungs, so we're going to increase your lung capacity. In fact, we're going to oxygenate every cell of your being right now and increase your lung capacity. And if you happen to be yawning, that would be natural. A lot of times people yawn when we're doing healing work. We're now going to bring healing into the kidneys and the adrenal glands. And now the abdomen, stomach and small intestine. And now we're going to the lower back where I do feel a little bit of an energy depletion. So we're going to expand this. And we're going to light up the pool of spinal fluid and wake it up and purify it. And now we're going to start getting it going up the spinal column. And my hope is that it's going to go all the way up to your third eye. And if it does, it's going to be like having an orgasm, but it's on a spiritual level. Remember not to hold your breath. So there's an explosion. So some of you are experiencing that, which is pretty sweet. And if not, that's fine. You can rewatch this. Practice stillness. Practice going into your heart. Practice putting your phone on Do Not Disturb or even airplane mode. Okay, now we're going to stabilize the energy of your hips. And I'm now going to run energy into the hips and down both legs at the same time. And hopefully get all the way down to the heels of the feet and all the way to the toes of the feet. I'm feeling callous. I'm feeling some people have cold feet, which actually is related to fears. Somebody has an injured foot. My right is your left foot is injured. And someone else has a left ankle that has an injury. Okay, so now I'm going to summon up earth and electromagnetic frequencies. And I'm going to now pull this around your feet. And now I'm going to send this energy up the feet. And I'm hoping that you're going to drink it in so that this energy comes up the feet to the base of the tailbone and then goes all the way up the spine and shoots out the top of your head like a beautiful fountain of light. Remember, just be breathing in receiving mode, that's all. No effort at all on your part. There we go, good. All right, and now we're going to do a little boost for your immunity, your immune system. And we're going to slow down the anxiety. There's no more room for that. Like, we don't want you to slide into burnout, okay? And this is going to remove some really heavy negative thought forms from you. Okay, now the next thing I'm getting is listening devices. And so if you happen to have anything like that, we're going to remove those now. They're in various places. Sometimes, for some of you, I'm feeling it in the groin or the side of the neck, the side of the eyebrows, throat, all over the place. It's different for everybody, but a lot of people here have like monitoring devices or technology or implants. And now we're just making sure that there's none left and you're getting a purification. Nice. All righty. And now I'm going to ask you to take a really nice deep breath all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. Release it when you're ready, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And let me know in the comments how you feel. Let me know what that experience was like for you. If you want another shot of that, hold your hands out like this and let me light up your hands for you. Ready? Don't hold your breath. Isn't that nice? Or is it trippy? Awesome. Very cool, isn't it? Now take your hands, put them up to your heart, and say, I am learning new ways to love myself every day. I am learning new ways to love myself every day. Perfect. Good. I acknowledge and understand I am the light of the truth. I acknowledge and understand I am the light of the truth. Awesome, isn't it? I am safe in this right now moment. I am safe in this right now moment. I am love itself, and I am loved. I call in my spirit guides to please help me to feel the love that is there for me now. Cool, right? And you can relax your hands. All right, there you go. There you have it. You're nice and glowing now. I thank you so much for watching. I invite you to visit my website, maybe book a healing session if you'd like more, or a personal one, or for a reading, consultation, or for some coaching, or for a past life regression. Now, if you'd like, you can pick up your pet and you could re-watch this video. And if you really like it, I invite you to like the video and to share it with somebody because I am trying to grow my channel and I would love your support in doing that. I'm Suzy Woo. My website is suzy-woo.com. And I thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope to see you again real soon. Let me give you a great big hug because I love you and I love what I do so much. It feels good. You should do what feels good. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.